Hi, this is RJ with the Rock Counseling Group, and I'm here with my daughter Maddie, who's a 16-year-old high school student who is also, going through this shelter in place like the rest of us adults. And I thought it'd be really good to have a conversation with her and have her share what her experience has been like. I think it's good for us parents to understand that we're not the only ones going through this, and we have children, especially teenagers, who are struggling with how to process the things that are going along. With this shelter in place. And so Maddie's here to kind of share with us her experience. So how you doing today, Madd?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah, and in the spirit of social distancing, we're in two different places using video conference to make sure that we, do have that distance that's been recommended to us, right?
Yep, that's true.
So tell me, Maddie, as a teenager, what do you think teenagers are missing the most right now during this shelter in place?
Well, personally, I really miss being able to physically be in the same space as my friends, even if it's just at school or like me and my best friends, we often have sleepovers, and it's especially when we're bored, that's often the thing that comes up. So it's like, oh, I want to have a sleepover with this person. Oh, I can't do that anymore. That's
Yeah. And so missing your friends and being in that same physical space with them sounds like that's a big thing. How are you staying in touch with your friends? What are you doing to keep up on what's going on in their lives?
well, texting is always good, but the friends that don't text, no, like they're always on Instagram, or lots of my friends have like things like Nintendo Switches or stuff like that. I don't have one of those, but I've noticed on Instagram they often post like get-togethers on the same game or stuff like that. So even though I'm not doing that thing, I've noticed that's a thing that a lot of people are doing.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, what would you like, parents to know about how, teenagers are dealing with the shelter in place or even the information that's out there about COVID-19 and what's happening in the world? What would you like parents to know about how you're dealing with that or how teenagers are dealing with it?
Um, I think honestly, most of us don't exactly know how to feel about it because we've never been through something like this before. So we only like see the small bits of stuff that's happening. Like there's no school, there's like online school now. We like can't talk to other people. We can only connect online. So it's like personally, I'm not exactly scared by it, but it's more like the little things that I can see in my own life.
Yeah. And so for you personally, outside of missing your friends and not being able to spend time with them, what is something you're learning about yourself during this time?
I think I'm learning that I'm a little more like self-sufficient than I thought I was. And what I mean is that like there's no school, so therefore there's no like set schedule anymore. Yet I'm still making myself go to bed by a set time. I'm still getting up at around the same time every morning. I'm still like, getting dressed. I have a schedule like in my planner, and I'd write down stuff because I have online school. So I'd write down, okay, today I'm going to focus on these assignments, and then I do those assignments, and then I have the rest of the day.
Yeah. So keeping a schedule and staying kind of routine has been really helpful for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about like if parents could talk to their kids and about what's going on, what do you think would be most helpful for kids to hear and for parents to talk with their kids about?
I think something that I would say is probably to really try to express to your kids that they're not immune, because that's something I've been seeing a lot, is that like kids my age, like teenagers, people in their 20s, they think they can't get the virus, and that's not true. So even though like once again that's not something for me, but like I think that's a really important thing, because it's not just spreading it to other people, but like for people my age, it's more like what affects you, which would be the virus can affect you. So that's what I'm most concerned about right now.
So if you could tell your friends, one suggestion to get them through the day when things are tough and they're not able to spend time with their friends, what would that be?
I think that we all miss each other. You're not in it alone.
Yeah. And so when this shelter in place ends and you have the freedom to go do whatever it is that you would like to do, what's the first thing that you want to go do?
Um, First thing I want to do, honestly, have a sleepover with my friend Charlie. That's probably the
Yeah.
first thing I would want to do.
Yeah. And so just be around people, right, and have a good time and feel
Mhm.
like you can be close and have a conversation. Yeah. And this
Yeah.
is the first time that a lot of teenagers your age are being told they can't go certain places or do the things that they normally do. What does that feel like to one day be able to go to the mall or go to a restaurant or go out with your friends, and then the next day be told that you can't do that at all?
Well, I think it's a little less impactful for me because, I'm working on getting my driver's license. So it's not like I could just decide to go somewhere. Like I had to ask you or I had to ask mom, I had to ask somebody to take me somewhere. So I'm not as used to just deciding to go somewhere. But of course, it's for me, it's more like an inconvenience per se. It's not like aggravating or it makes me angry or anything. It's just kind of like this is something I have to do. And then you're just like, oh, I want to go here. And they're like, oh, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. And so the one thing that has gotten you through this shelter in place, what has that been?
FaceTime.
FaceTiming? Yeah. So, I really appreciate you sharing this. I think it's gonna be really helpful for parents to hear, how you're experiencing this and understand that, it is about some of the social interactions and the wants to be around your friends and the change in your normal life, but how important that structure is and how, teenagers can be very resilient and be able to put structure in place for themselves and be independent. So I'm really proud of how you've been able to manage this and deal with this, and really proud of you being able to have this discussion today with me and being able to share this with whoever's going to be able to see it. And I know that'll be a great benefit to them. So thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you later.
See you. Bye.